Hello and welcome to the extreme run of Cold Fear. Yep, let's just get on with that. First thing we're going to do is just skip all of this crap. We're not really interested in that since this is strictly just getting through the game on extreme hard mode. Well, extreme mode. All I'm really doing here is just playing through the game as it said, but I'm not going to really bother showing you anything off. I'm just going to get through the sort of put me through my paces. So I'll be able to show you. Well, I'm going to kind of have to show you all my kills because there's no way I'm going to play through all this game without having everyone else suffer through it as well. That includes every single death that I have. Speaking of which, we've got the first one coming up pretty much right now. I died quite a few times running across this. Just transfer that now. The first one that we've got is, well, basically just getting hit by the water. In extreme mode, it's pretty much a case of if you get hit once by anything, you pretty much die. These next two I forgot to record, and I just caught the end of the actual of the death bits. You might be happy to see that the death counter has come back. And shot from this guy. One bullet takes off almost all of my health. Now I actually got lucky there, and it didn't kill me in one shot. Usually, one will just completely kill you straight away. But unfortunately, I didn't even make it across anyway. That means anything like med kits and that sort of thing actually isn't really going to help me in the long run, because, well, if I take not one hit and I die, well, obviously that's going to do me no good. Okay, time to fucking get really angry. Said in the normal run, you can't see around this corner properly, so you can't see these guys, but they're quite happy to sit there and shoot through everything. Ooh. Yeah, missing in action. Dead. Yep. You see, I can't even get around the corner and see them. I'm shaking my mouse, just really angry. And again. So yeah, this is pretty much what this is about. I get through it eventually. There's a couple of deaths here, but yeah, actually my first game of playing this on extreme mode, I got through here first time without a problem, and it was just like the next umpteen times that I died a hell of a lot. As I'm recording this, I haven't actually completed it on extreme mode. I haven't recorded anything further than maybe one more video's worth ahead of this. So I don't actually know if I'm going to be able to complete it, but now that I've started it, I think that's probably it's kind of going to kick me up the arse. If I don't do it, then I'm going to feel like a dick if I don't finish it, so yeah. What we've got here is I'm kind of wasting my time going in here. I don't need to come in here, and in fact I'll end up avoiding most of the other rooms. Avoiding most of the rooms that I don't need to go into, the ones that I don't need to pick up any ammo or anything like that from. It's yeah, it's a case of getting through this as quickly as possible. Because, as I'd said, I'm not going to be showing anything in these other than the fact that I'm making it through and kind of just talking and not really saying anything or editing it down. One thing I can talk about is some of the stuff that I didn't really touch on in the intro, and that was who we are and why we are here. Now, from the intro movie, you'll have seen that there was a helicopter dropped off some pretty scary looking guys with glowy goggles and things, and those guys are some, well actually it hasn't been mentioned yet. I think it'll be mentioned in the next video, so I think I'll leave that. But some guys get dropped down there, and Mr. Specs guy says, "Oh my god, I need some more people," and then he's looking for any sort of asset nearby, and that ends up being the USS Ravenwood, which is, Ravenswood? I think it's Ravenwood. Where this guy, Tom Hansen, happens to work. Now he's in the Coast Guard. He used to be a decorated soldier, but he got kicked out in disgrace. It doesn't say what it is. It does hint a little bit later on in the plot, but we never, well, maybe we do find out what actually the reason behind his disgrace was. But for the moment, he works at the Coast Guard, and he's obviously having the time of his life. All of his bodies are well, I'm assuming that at this point you probably watched the normal video, so I'll just spoil anything that happens there. But since Lansing is dead, all of the other guys are going to be dead as well. So what's interesting is that you don't see them around as any of the kind of the zombies or anything. You only see Tom, and he's just wearing his jacket, and no one else is, which is weird. But there you go. Apparently he's part of Unit 22, but there's really no reference to that at all. Yeah, boing. Okay, and here we have another little fancy little situation. Yes. can see I have quite a lot of fun with this. I ended up it not being too bad. If you get behind here and duck, then that's it. You have to kind of time it very, very carefully in order to take them out. But again, usually that doesn't help. The way to kind of get past this is just aim as soon as you get in and start firing. That guy on the floor, he does a little sort of roll along the ground, and that gives you enough time to take out the guy behind. You just have to be aware that that's the way you need to do it. There are plenty more instances in the game where you get attacked as soon as you come in through the door and you've no idea where your enemy is. That is going to be the big problem in playing this, and I'm really not looking forward to it, but as I said, I'm kind of committed to doing this now, so yes. Okay, yes, try not to do this and stray too close to the fire. The dead bodies, yeah, when they're on fire they can still hurt you and you can still die, as you can see, very, very quickly. An extreme run of this. Well, the reason I'm doing the extreme run is the whole idea for doing this LP came from talking to Xenomorph just about games in general. And he mentioned, oh, have you ever played Cold Fear? And I said, yes, I have. I really, really liked that game. I really liked it because it was just a lot of fun. It reminded me of probably what The Thing would have been like if it had been, if the game had been any good. And on a boat, of course. It plays. It's kind of like Dead Space in a way, where it initially interested me, where making these sort of shape-shifting enemies running around and stuff just reminded me of The Thing, and I'm a huge fan of The Thing. And so this game just grabbed my attention, and I mean, as far as the game itself goes, it's fine. It's not a bad game. It's very short, but it's certainly by no means bad. For its time, it's absolutely gorgeous as well. The thing is, this was it wasn't the first game that I saw with sort of the water effect on the screen. That would have been Metal Gear Solid 2. I remember seeing a demo of that, and when you're fanning around on the ship and you look up when it's raining, it has sort of rain trick things. But this is where the first game I actually saw it as kind of a consistent effect, and I think it looks fantastic. Yes, yeah, Xenomorph said he finished it on Extreme, and I'm going to do it too. The weather effects, they'll stick around for quite a while. Obviously, it's just something that you get when you're outside. But they do, since it's one of the first things you see in the game, they did put a lot of effort into it, and it does come off as something really good. I'm dropping in bits of sort of concept art and things like that now and then, but I think as a whole, in terms of the development of the game, they had a lot of sort of artistic quality behind it. There's a lot of concept art, and it's not just locations, but characters and enemies and things that we'll see much later on in the LP. And some of them are absolutely fantastic looking. It's a great deal of visual quality or has gone into this game. Yeah, it's just a shame that it's so short, and it does. I do have a complaint about the game, but again, that'll come much later in the LP as we get to that sort of section of the game itself. But for the moment, when we're mucking about on the ship, I think it sets the atmosphere quite well, and I certainly can't fault it. It does take its time to lead you into all of these things. You start off with the mercenaries and stuff, and then slowly you meet the zombie guy at the end of this. And there's lots of dead bodies and things around to make you wonder what the fuck is going on. It's got a very... I'm reluctant to say Silent Hill, but it has that kind of lead into it where it's not sort of fucking throwing all the monsters at you right out of the gate. I guess Silent Hill did kind of do that with the little baby monster things in the alleyway at the start. But it doesn't just say, here's a boat full of blood, you must kill everything straight away. It does take a little while to get here. What the fuck am I doing? I think what I'm trying to do is to get the sight of the gun to come down and aim so I can shoot through here. This was before my one clip in the normal run where I was trying to shoot at Lansing. I was trying to do it there, so apologies if you were watching that, because that's not very interesting at all. Another thing, you can try and shoot the guy who gets stabbed on the ground and that does nothing, and you can also, if you get it just right, you can see the guy who comes out from behind the bunks as well. Well, I mustn't have that. Yeah, you can just about see him. So, yeah, he's dead, and that's pretty much that. As I said before, going to be playing this all the way through. I'm going to have a death counter for everything, so eventually, as you might expect, there's going to be a competition at the end, so, yep, see you in the next one.